friends, welcome back to llamamamakayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla, and thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate that you're here. I hope you're all having a great day. It is Thursday, February the 29th. We got a bonus day this year for February, leap year. So anyway, I am working the last day on my sweetheart blanket. This is the last day for me to work on this blanket, literally. I mean, it really is, because I am having finger surgery tomorrow. If you haven't seen, I have a video up. I put up wee hours during the night of 7th finger amputation. So I do have surgery tomorrow morning, Friday morning. And I will be out of, crochet commission for a little while, but I'll be doing other things. So I just tied in my gray, and I'm just going to stick it right up here so that I can pull from it. Get some pulling out there a little bit. Right. All right. And so I am going to just work on my gray for a little bit. I would like to get about 3 rounds of the gray in, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to crochet as much as I can today for, getting this gray in here. I got a lot I want to get done today, and I don't know that I'll get even any of it done. But one of my goals is to finish this blanket. It was already a goal, so I'm going to go with it and work on getting this gray added on this blanket. So some of you guys might not be ready to end your blanket if you were working on one and you want to continue working on it. That's great. Please post a picture in the Facebook group Llama and Big Daddy when you are done, so that we can see your how your blanket turned out and what colors you used. I always find it interesting, what colors people used. So yeah. So anyway, like I said, there is a video up about my 7th finger amputation, and so if you haven't watched that, check it out. I was a little bit all over the place in that. My mind was just running everywhere and just laps in circles, and I just have a lot on my mind, and I'm very nervous. I don't know. It's not that I'm scared. It's just the anticipation of it. It's not something I want to do or anything, but I know it's got to be done, and so it's just the anticipation. Like, if I could have just went in this morning and got it over with, I would have. So, I mean, I dread doing it, but yet, let's just get it over with, all at the same time. I know, so many emotions, so many. I mean, really, my emotions are so up and down today, yesterday, and today, and I'm sure tomorrow also. I'm just up and down, just feel this way, feel that way. I'm sure some of you can relate if you've, had devastating things going on in your life too. I'm sure you can relate to that. Anyway, this gray is going to be my border, and I would like to put about 3 rounds, like I said, but we'll see what today plays out for me. And I'm getting started on this late in Thursday. I just finished, I've been working on the blanket this morning, but I just finished the variegated, and so now, I'm jumping in to get my gray, because my gray was on schedule for Thursday. But we were at the hospital a long time yesterday. When I got there, I went up to my appointment, and then she said, "Did you stop at Central Registration?" And I said, "No, I didn't know I was supposed to, because you didn't have to before. It's a new thing they're doing." So she said, "Here, I'll walk down there with you." And I was like, "Well, you don't have to. I know where it's at." And she said, "Well, I just need to get up anyway." So she come to the elevator. This was a receptionist. And she walked down to Central Registration with me. And she was like, "Yes, Kayla Miller needs to check in and get registered for today." And so we did that, and then she waited around with me. She was very sweet. Waited around with me, and then we got back in the elevator and went back up. And in the elevator, we encountered a lady whose husband was on the ventilator, and, you know, we said a prayer for her and her husband. And then we got off, that lady got off on another floor, and then we went on up to the floor we were supposed to be on. And it was just a very good, positive experience right there, just on that elevator, that short little ride from floor 1 to floor 5. And then we got back up, and then the nurse said, "Hey, Miss Miller," I mean, I hadn't even seen the doctor yet or anything. She said, "I need you to go to X-ray and get an X-ray of that finger." And I was like, okay. I don't know. I mean, they've never X-rayed them before. Well, I guess sometime in the beginning I did X-rays and ultrasounds and all that. But when I got this one done, we didn't do all that kind of stuff. I know, X-ray or ultrasound. But anyway, so I said, okay. So, when I got to the elevator, Big Daddy was getting off the elevator. So I said, "Come on, I gotta go to X-ray." "Why?" I explained to him, "I don't know, but we're going." So we went down to X-ray and got X-ray of my left hand, and then went back upstairs, went and got in the little waiting room, told him I was back, went in the waiting room, and then the nurse come and got me and took us back to a room and talked to the nurse a minute. She did all the, you know, vital signs and going over medications and all that kind of stuff like they do when you go to the doctor. And then then Dr. Taylor come in. He knew, I knew, we all knew, Big Daddy knew, I mean, we all knew, but nobody really wanted to say it. And even Dr. Taylor was like, he hated to say it too. I mean, because I was upset before he came in, while we were sitting there waiting on him. I was just a nervous wreck. Okay, I could barely even sit there. Like, it was all I could do to stay my rear in that chair. I just wanted to jump up and scream and run around the room. I was just nervous, like anxious feeling, I guess, you know. And so he come in and we talked about it, and he's just like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this keeps happening, and we hadn't been able to stop it." You know, I mean, he was very sympathetic, and, you know, just the concern in his voice. And then after we talked for a little while, he said, "Well, I can put you on the schedule for Friday morning." I was like, okay. So he did. He got his, went and told his nurse, the head nurse, to, you know, get it going and get me on in so I could go to pre-op and all that kind of stuff. So, and then he went and got some other doctors to come in. He asked me, could he bring some doctors and interns and student doctors. It was a family doctor that he wanted to go get. There was some nurse practitioner. So anyway, he went and rounded up a few people and brought them in to see my finger. He just wanted them to see and be aware, and to know if they encounter this later on in their practice, that it might, help them diagnose someone, so they'll recognize and be able to help someone, or at least get them diagnosed and stuff like that. So, I'm totally on board with that. And this is a teaching hospital, by the way. And so I do like that aspect of it. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like this hospital, is because they are teaching teaching, you know, and raising up more doctors. So, yeah, it's a good thing. It really is. And then we, after my doctor's appointment, after we finally finished, and he sat in there and just chatted with us about stuff that did not have to do with anything with my finger, but we talked about some medical stuff just in the world in general, and just had a great conversation, and it put me at ease. It really did, just chatting it up with him. And by the way, he did surgery on Big Daddy 28 years ago. He put a plate and some screws in Big Daddy's leg, and then I believe he took one plate out and one set of screws, but he has one plate and one set still there. So, yeah. And then after that, I had to go to pre-op. Is that where I went next? Yeah, I went to pre-op and did the EKG. And then they do this thing before surgery where they go in your wrist and draw blood. And they go to a deep vein. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but and they're checking for oxygen and stuff like that in your blood to give them a base level of what's going on, you know, how well you're oxygenated or whatever. I may not be saying that correctly, but it helps them know that you're good. Anyway, he could not find the pulse in my wrist at all. And that's very common for me. So he had to come up and get this vein right here, and I tell you what, it is still sore because it was a big needle. Not just long, it was a big needle. And to get my veins, they usually use like baby needles on me to get my veins, and this was a big old fat needle. Oh, it looked huge compared to what I'm used to getting. And like I said, I'm not talking about the length of the needle, I'm talking about the girth of it. I don't know what to call it, but diameter. Anyway, so I got that done, and then I had to go to the next room and do all the paperwork, answer all the questions that they can possibly think to ask you, you know. I mean, I don't think they asked you about my dog, and that's the only thing they didn't ask about. But they all know me because, you know, I've been in there so many times. Not just with fingers, but also with my feeding tube, and the portacath, and just, I used to go for scopes all the time before my feeding tube. I went for scopes regularly. But, so they all know me. And then, the guy that was doing my pre-op thing, he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I told my wife about your crochet hooks, look like fingers. And, I mean, I didn't have any crochet with me yesterday. He just remembered my crochet hooks look like fingers. He was talking about this hook in particular. And, you know, so he told his wife about that. And, then I had to go, after we did all that, okay, he drew some blood, but then my vein, blew out, and so he said, I'm not going to stick you anymore because I had already been stuck. He was my third stick of the day, so he said, I'm just going to send you to lab. So I went on down to lab and got lab work done, and bless her heart, she knows I'm a hard stick down in lab, and so she was just like, oh, Miss Miller, I hate to do this to you. But she got my vein on the first try, but then it blew before she got all the blood. And so she did have to stick me again. I said, it's okay. It's okay. Just do it. So, and then I had to go to x-ray again and get a chest x-ray, which was perfectly clear. And then I was done. I took a few photos of Patina around the hospital. Me and Big Daddy walked around and looked at some paintings on the wall and took some photos of Patina. And then we left and came home. Came straight home. And I started crocheting on this blanket. And I crocheted on it a lot yesterday evening and last night. Because I had to get all those balls in here, right? Remember all the balls I had up here? I had to get all those put in this blanket. And here I am, Thursday, working on the gray. Anyway, guys, I just appreciate you all just being here with me and supporting me and giving me the courage and, you know, we're going to get through this. It'll be okay. I'm going to survive it, and I'll be back here with you guys. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and try to answer some of the questions that people have asked me in the last video. The last Q&A video. So I'll answer some of those today and probably just ramble and run all over the place with my mind again. Because I have a lot going on in my mind, okay? I have a lot I need to do today. I need to finish this blanket today. I also have another little project that I want to finish up for some photos that I can do, you know, later this week. But I got to do the project today if I'm going to do it, because I can't do it after today. And then I want to crochet a bunch of little base hats to fit Patina so that I can glue stuff on them later. So I just want to sit down and crochet up a bunch of little hats of different colors. Just the base beanie style hat, I guess. I don't know. And then glue stuff on them later. But who knows if I'm going to get to do all that or not. And plus I have stuff in my house that needs to be done. I need to tidy up, organize. I need to... Right in the middle of my living room is some Christmas boxes. And I'm just piling Christmas... I've been piling Christmas stuff up all around it. In bags and boxes and stuff. And so I need that. First, I need it put in the boxes better because it's a lot of wasted space under some stuff. And so I need to get all that together and get it put away. I just need to get my laundry put away and just all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, I have a lot of stuff. My bedroom needs cleaning and organizing. It's jumbled up a little bit. Just so many things I want to do that I know I can't do it all. I know I can't. But I'm going to do what I can do today. I also want to get in there and clean out the refrigerator. Because if I don't do it today, nobody's going to do it, okay? So, it's just a bunch of little things like that. Yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that. So, yeah. Alright, so anyway, dear friend with the chronic shingles, I am so sorry. That is just, I can't even imagine having chronic shingles, because I know shingles are painful. And so she was saying that she only has a few days a month that she has any relief. And my heart just goes out to you. Bless you. I'm so sorry. I don't even know what to say. That's got to be so painful. Chronic pain is really, really hard. And on people. And, you know, some people may, if you don't experience chronic pain, you just don't realize how devastating chronic pain can be. It is very hard and emotionally and mentally just wears on you. And physically, I mean, it just wears on you to the point where you just can't stand it. I know about that. So I'm very, very sorry. And I pray that you do get some relief. And she says she's had these chronic shingles for like 30 years. So it's not just like a little thing that she's just experiencing. She's living this. So if you don't mind, say a prayer for her. Okay, Alex is asking, how do you do it? Well, I don't know, Alex. She is asking, how do I carry on with my life and just do all the things that I'm doing and not get discouraged and just give up? I don't know. I just can't give up, okay? I mean, I'm a person who likes to do stuff. I like to be busy. I could never just sit and watch TV. I have to be doing something while I watch TV. My hands have to be busy. I have to feel productive. I don't know why that is, but I just do. And plus, I have this creative mind where I just want to create. And so, I just feel like, I have to get creativity out. And so, I just find something to do where I can express my creativity. But I don't know. I just can't give up. That's just not me. I've never been a quitter. I might be a procrastinator. But I didn't quit. I'm just putting it off, okay? There's a difference there. Alright? It really is. But no. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what the answer is to that, Alex. And that may not even be your name, but that's what the part that it shows me. And it may be more to your name. It might be Alexandra or Alexa or something. I don't know. So sorry about that. I just do what I have to do, okay? I'm not going to lay down and just give up. And even, having this other finger amputated, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to be crocheting. I'm going to figure out how to crochet with just that pinky and thumb on that side. But as you can see, right now, that's how I hold my yarn. I wrap my pinky around it, and I'm holding my project with this. So I'm going to have to figure out a new way to do all that. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, and carry on. And I encourage you to just push forward and carry on. Find something that makes you happy. Find your passion. Find your escape. Something that just takes your mind off of what you're going through and dealing with. And like I said, I don't know you personally. I don't know, your condition that you're going through, and I also don't know your personality, but we're not quitters. We don't give up. We are going to push forward and just enjoy our life. Life is so short. Don't sit around moping and wasting time. Enjoy your life. Find whatever makes you happy. And if that is watching SpongeBob SquarePants on Hulu or whatever, I don't know what it really comes on. But if watching SpongeBob SquarePants makes you happy, watch SpongeBob SquarePants. Nobody said that. I'm just making this up. I mean, it don't matter how silly you think it is or other people think it is. Find something that makes you happy and do it. And, some people I know are like homebound and maybe in a bed or a chair or something. They can't get up and move around. But you can think of something that you can sit in that recliner to do and get somebody to bring you the supplies. Whether it's paper quilling, that's like rolling paper up and making a picture with rolled up pieces of paper. I mean, if you can do something like that and enjoy it, go for it. Just find your happy. Find your happy. And it's not going to be the same as my happy or your friend's happy. anyway, I don't mean, you know, I'm not trying to be like preachy, but, you know, she was asking, how do I do it? How do I push forward? How do I carry on? I don't know. I just do. I just do. We're not quitters. We're not going to give up. All right, so moving on, but I hope you do. I hope, Alex, that helped you in some kind of way. Anyway, please let me know how you're doing in comments, you know. I appreciate all your comments. I love reading them. I mean, I can't like just, sometimes it's over 100 comments, so I can't mention every one, but I'm trying to hit the ones with, you know, questions, and trying to, you know, hit the ones that might, you know, that I can answer and that speak to me, I guess. So, and I'm going to continue doing this because this is the easiest for me to answer questions and to talk to you guys, because, you know, typing is not like, it's hard. I could sit there and peck out. I could sit there and, you know, peck out some stuff or whatever, but it would take forever, okay? It really would, and I'm just, that's not my happy. Typing, pecking letters is not my happy. So I'm not going to spend, it would take me hours and hours and hours just to answer a few. And yeah, that's not how I'm going to spend my time. So I'd rather talk to you guys and answer questions and stuff like that. So that way I can also crochet. So this works out good. Bees. Oh, so somebody was asking about the bees that I was making last year. I did not get them all done. I didn't. I fell off that wagon. Probably something with my health interfered, and then I just never got back on the wagon. That happens sometimes, but I can make bees at any time. And so, yeah, I'll make more bees in the future. Just sometimes, you know, hiccups in life come along and you have to change your direction, refocus, and evaluate what you're doing and change to make things easier for yourself. And then, and it may look totally different than it did the week before. But that's been part of my life, is just readjusting and starting fresh. Someone asked, did Zeke's family also live in the WMA? No, they don't. They live a road over from me. They don't live on my road. We're the only house that I know of in the WMA. I mean, I know there's no other houses in the WMA. And the reason why we are in the WMA is because they bought land all around us. So this used to be, you know, land owned by different people, and they've just over time sold it to the state to be part of the WMA. Now, we are not going to do that. We are going to be right here until the cows come home. We're not going anywhere. And then someone was asking about the WMA. Can people move to the WMA? No, you can't. They're not going to sell their land. And also someone asked about what's the purpose of the check-in stations. So they can keep up with hunting, how many people are hunting the land and stuff like that. Because you have to put on there like what time you enter, what you plan on doing while you're in there, and I don't know, I hadn't looked at one of them cards in years, but it does ask some questions like that. And then also when you leave and you put the other part of the card in there or something, you have to put what time you left, so they know. And then you also record that if you killed any animals, like if it's deer season or rabbit season or whatever, you let them know that, so that just that they can keep up with all that kind of stuff. Alrighty. So, Diane, thank you, Diane. Diane said I was the queen of weird. And that is just, that, I love it. I love it. The queen of weird. That's a compliment to me. Because I don't like being like everybody else. I want to be different. I want to be weird. I like weird. The weirder the better. Like, the weird people that I encounter in life are the people that I'm drawn to. I know that's weird. But that's the way it is, you know. I like weird things. The weirder the better. If it ain't weird, I don't like it. So thank you, Diane. I really did appreciate that. I laughed out loud. While I'm reading y'all's comments, I am just laughing, and I enjoy that so much. I really do. Oh, let's see. So, yeah, find your weird. Everybody, find your weird and embrace it. And don't be embarrassed or ashamed about it. Somebody asked about Big Daddy's job. Well, and they were just kind of wondering, like, did he have what he did to get that job or whatever. He did go to college, but not for this. Isn't that the way it works? People never, I mean, some people do. Like if you're a doctor or a lawyer or, you know, a dentist or somebody with a specialty like that. But most people went to college and they don't even work in the degree that they got. A lot of times that's the case. Not every time, but a lot of times. But anyway, and he worked in a plant. He was working in a plant, a paper plant, for 11 years, and then they sold that plant, and the new people who bought the plant, they just bought the plant for the employees, not the employees, the customers. They just bought the customers is what they bought, but it shut the plant down, and I'm trying to think, how did he go about getting this job that he has? I don't know, I guess he was told about it, and he went out there for an interview. It's in another town, a good ways from us, about an hour away. He went out there for an interview, and this girl, okay, it's a drug rehab, okay, and this girl took him around and was showing him the place and telling him things, and she was saying you have to do cabin checks, and he couldn't understand her, and he thought she was saying cavity checks, and he was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then somebody else come along and said, did you tell him about the cabin checks? And she said, yeah, I've been telling him about that. And he was like, oh, cabin checks. So then he felt relieved. But anyway, they have like the big administrator building, and then around that they have little cabins, little houses where patients stay in. So they call them cabins, but it's just like little houses. But anyway, he started to work there, and he worked the night shift for years, and he worked weekends for years. He was off like Monday and Tuesday. That was our weekend, and because we homeschooled, we adjusted to that, and we schooled on the weekends. And Monday and Tuesday, when, you know, Dad was off work, that was our weekend. And we did things, you know, like that's when we would go to the zoo as a family, or whatever we wanted to do was on Monday and Tuesday, because that was our weekend. And then through there, he's been there over 20 years. So he's just moved up in different jobs, and He's, you know, one of the oldest employees there, actually. Not in age-wise, but in years. And so he's just accumulated a bunch of jobs, a bunch of responsibilities. And, you know, it's just part of moving up the ladder. So that's per se what he did. Move up the ladder. Alright, so let's see. Oh, somebody was asking about this mat on my desk. Where did I get this mat? I believe it came with from Walmart in the sewing department. And it probably came with some scissors and a paper slicer cutter thing. So it's in Walmart where the scissors and stuff are. They have some different size mats and things like that. So that's where it came from. You can probably find them at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, Joann's. Places like that probably have them too. And you could actually like use a cutter and cut stuff on this. And it's supposed to be like a self-healing. But I haven't cut anything on it that I can remember. And then someone asked, what is the oldest doll in my collection that I've owned? Not the oldest doll that I have in my collection, but the oldest one that I've had, like, and it's probably my big doll, Jessica. She was my baby doll when I was little, and I didn't go and get her because it would be kind of hard to show her in this video, but I will. In March, I'm going to need some content, right? So I'll be showing you guys all kinds of stuff in March. We're going to be doing it all. So, oh, Vicky, thank you for letting me know that you sent both of those cases of Premier drinks. I almost said that in the video, and I was like, no, that's not right. I was scared to say it and it not be right. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was so very kind of you. And I'm glad you let me know because, like I said, I kind of thought that, but then I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to say it without being sure. I do that a lot in videos. I'm thinking, like when I'm talking, like even right now, my mind is just racing, thinking about everything that I need to say. And then I forget to say things, you know, and I'm like, dang, I should have said this. Oh, goodness. Lydia asked about if I made any crochet socks for this surgery. I just don't have time to make a special pair for this surgery, and I don't know why. I knew the surgery was coming up. Like, I knew, so I should have been started on some socks that I could finish up, but I do have some already back there that look good. The pair that I wore for my pain pump surgery, I can wear those. So yeah, I have some that I can wear, but normally I do make a new pair of socks for any surgery that I have. Those slipper socks tutorial that I have on my channel is what we're referring to. But I'll just make do with a pair I got. Like one year I did have surgery in February. I can't remember what surgery it was, but I made those Mardi Gras socks. I made, you know, spring socks, Halloween socks, just whatever, you know, holiday or something was close by that surgery. I've made socks for that to wear to surgery, but I'll find some. And I know that I'm going in the morning whenever we go. I'm just wearing my pajamas. And I will wear a pair that don't have a hole in them. I'll wear a good pair of pajamas. And I'm going to, because I'm just going up there at 6 a.m. I'll go straight up to day surgery, change clothes, and put on a gown, and lay in that stupid stretcher curtain room thing until they take me back. And then after surgery, they'll take me back to the curtain room, and they'll bring Big Daddy in there and put him in the dressing room. Then they'll get me up and take me in the dressing room for him to help me get dressed. And where I'm just going to put my pajamas on. They'll wheel me down to get in the car, and we'll come home, and I will make it into the house and get in the bed. So I'll already be dressed for bed and won't have to try to do any of that kind of stuff. So I'm wearing my Care Bear pajama pants and a t-shirt to go with them. So that's what I'm wearing to surgery and home from surgery. Oh goodness. Well, anyway guys, yeah, I am just crocheting away on this. What are you guys working on today, and what are you doing? Do you have plans for the weekend? What's up? What's going on? Keep me informed. I mean, just because I'm going to have surgery and be out of it for a day, don't mean I don't want to know what you're doing this weekend. But I'm going to pop in and do some videos. I mean, I might just be talking and not I won't be crocheting. But I might just be talking to you guys and seeing what, you know. But unless I'm just so sick that I cannot sit up, I'll be here, okay? If I'm so sick, I'll be here. But otherwise, if I'm just, you know, my hand's just bandaged up and in a little bit of pain, I can be here. Ugh. I almost made it down this side. I think this is the long side of this. But, I hope, I ain't even made it around one time yet, but I'm really hoping to get in a couple of rounds on this. I would like to do about 3, but I may have to stop after about 2 and move on to something else, because like I said, I've got things in my house I need to do, and I've got just a few little crochet projects that I want to just, that are quick things to do. I just want to get them done. So yeah, that's what I have going on. And we have no plans for the weekend, of course. My plans are just to, you know, recover from surgery, relax, probably sleep a lot, and chat with you guys some. I'll let you know how surgery went and what's going on. And I'm sure Big Daddy might post something too in the big Facebook group, so there's always that. We'll keep you informed and let you know what's going on and what happens. I really was hoping that I could like crochet on this blanket some, and then maybe stop and crochet and then come back and show you it was finished. But I just don't know. I don't know that I got time to do all that, because then the video probably wouldn't get out until really late tonight. So I will be showing this blanket finished in the next couple of days. If not Friday, you know, over the weekend, I will show y'all what I did get done and where I ended up stopping at. But today is my last day to work on this this blanket. The sweetheart blanket for February will be done. And then, like I said, for March, I was very hesitant to say what I was going to be doing, but then I finally ended up saying I was going to be working on some granny squares. But I knew what I was supposed to go through, so. But I'm going to pick that up later. It might be April when I'm able to do that, or later in March, but I'll pick that up later and get back on track of things that I wanted to do and accomplish. So yeah, We'll get there. But I appreciate you guys so much just for tuning in and listening to me and being a friend. I appreciate your prayers. And I hope that no one, who was praying for my finger to be healed, I hope that you don't take all this the wrong way that I'm about to say. But, sometimes prayers are answered in ways that we don't expect. And we don't see the big picture. And God does. So I don't see this as a failure or that God failed me in any kind of way or, that I wasn't healed, because once my finger is gone, the pain will be gone and that will be healed. But it just leaves me without a finger. And I know that's, that is sad, but don't feel sorry for me. I don't want anyone to ever feel sorry for me, because I'm going to carry on and do what I need to do. I share because I want to bring awareness. There's people who have things going on with their fingers, Raynaud's and all, and they have no idea what's happening. A lot of doctors don't even know a lot. I've heard doctors even say, I read an article actually, where it was quoted that Raynaud's is not serious. And I'm like, it seems pretty serious to me, but whatever. But yeah, I want to bring awareness so people know. And somebody might watch my videos and find out about Raynaud's, and then they encounter their aunt or something. They might be like, hey, have you asked your doctor about this? Because I watched this video of this girl, so if it brings awareness and helps someone else, I want to be a part of that. I want to help people. So I'm not doing these videos for anybody to feel sorry for me, by no means, because that would make me mad. If somebody was all feeling sorry for me, okay? So don't do that. Be happy that I'm not going to have the pain. I'll have a little surgery pain, but as I said in that finger video, surgery pain is better than the pain I'm having right this minute. Like, I'm throbbing. My finger is throbbing right now, but I'm just carrying on because there's things I want to do. So I'm gonna let you guys get going. It is already 48 minutes and I hadn't even made it around one time with the gray yet. I was hoping we could just chat while I did all this, but that would be like a 3-hour video, wouldn't it? We ain't got time for that. I'll be back to visit with you guys. I love you all. Remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet or do any other craft or whatever that makes you happy. Enjoy it. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, friends.